that day. So, but he kept his nerves very much and he tried to be intact. He was wearing Bihari dhoti, Bihari kurta, putting a shawl, Bihari shawl, colored shawl on his shoulder. He had kept out his capital. That at that time we are sitting in the room near the gate of the St. Paul's Church, built some 200 years ago on the famous Chauroni Road of Bangalore. This is perhaps the biggest church of West Bengal, and very beautiful church also. How George went there to the church is also a mystery at that time. What people might have thought that since he was a Christian, he had a Christian connection and that connection to people. That was not so. In fact, we had a plan. Much before the dynamite case was exposed. It was on the night of 8th and 9th March 1976 that dynamite was for the first time seized in Baroda. And some important colleagues of George Fernandez and those who were associated with him in that operation were arrested. When George came to know about it next morning, he was in Delhi. Within hours, he left for Calcutta. In fact, we had arranged a safe place for him that in case the dynamite conspiracy was broken out at any point, at any place in the country, you see, the chain of this type of functioning, which is called conspiracy also. If it is broken from one place, the whole chain is broken up. And people from everywhere are either arrested or they have to go underground. The plan was that I had a friend in Calcutta, Mr. Rudolf Rodrigues. Mr. Rudolf Rodrigues is still alive. He is 85. He is ailing. At that time, he was a professor in Jadavpur, teaching international affairs. But during 1961 to 64, he was my class fellow in LLB in Calcutta. We were very good friends. He is a socialist also. Even during his university days, he was a socialist supporter, a socialist worker also in the Calcutta University student body. I had talked to him that in case George Fernandez needs any shelter, as you know, all of his friends, most of his friends rather, were arrested, were in jail. There were very few, hardly 20 to 25 people who were organizing some sort of opposition to him. We were distributing leaflets and we were trying to tell the people and the machinery of the government that some people are still underground and functioning against this government. On the morning of 9th of March 1976, George arrived at Calcutta. He was not known to Rudolf till then. Straightway he arrived to his place. Rudolph could not recognize who this man is. Then George told me that I am so and so. And my friend Vijay Narayan, with me, had asked me to come to your place. Well, he was very glad. He welcomed him. Well, he told me very frankly that you can be here in my place as long as you wish. At that time he was the best. So George stayed with him. Whenever he used to go to teach in the university, he had to put him underground. What happened sometimes later that George had no money. So some of his friends from Bombay sent him some money. And that man particularly was under watch. And on this basis, Intelligence Bureau guessed that George Fernandez is. Later on, sub-CID movements starting taking place around the flat of Rudolph. He also noticed it. He told me also this one. And he shifted him to his friend's house. Sometimes later, Rudolph Rodriguez shifted him to St. Paul's. Here in St. Paul's Church, Rodriguez's close friend, Mr. Vijayan Pavamuni, who was from Tamil Nadu. Only last year he is expired. Vijayan Pavamuni was the charge of the social institution of the church that was called the Samaritans. He arranged his stay there in the church. And under the banner of this institute, the Samaritans, he was given a shelter. But he was given a separate room just behind the hall, a big hall, where church meeting used to be. George stayed there. Then George's friend in Calcutta gave him a typewriter, a cyclostyle machine, and George used to type his own letters, then bring out the cyclostyle paper, put it in the envelope. He used to write some 1,000 addresses which he remembered, and when it was all dispatched in a suitcase and in a bag, which I used to carry it from Calcutta to Allahabad and drop it in the RMS boxes at the railway station on these stations. At that time I was the Joint Secretary of the UP Socialist Party. I was to look after the party work also. So I used to settle between Lucknow and Calcutta very often, looking after party work and George's work also. And Rudolph Rodriguez used to come. But after the exposure of the whole conspiracy from Baroda itself, George's friends were arrested in Delhi. He had a very good team of intellectuals, some freedom fighters. One of them was Mr. C.G.K. Reddy, a former manager of the Hindu and a member of Rajya Sabha during 1962, a very close colleague of Subhash Chandra Bose and Dr. Bindra. He had settled later on in Bangalore. then there was one Mr. Kamlesh. He was a Hindi intellectual, Hindi writer, and a very good socialist also, and some other people. All those were arrested and sent to Tihar jail, put up under the team attached to George in Patna was also arrested. I was in UP. Some UP comrades were also arrested. Very few of us were left out. One of them, one of the most important colleagues was from Madhya Pradesh, Mr. Ladli Mohan Ji. He was later on member of Rajya Sabha. Ladli Mohan Nigam was a very good colleague, a follower of Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia and Madhya. He was never arrested. Even till the withdrawal of emergency, he was under. He appeared only when the elections of 1977 were, and all others were arrested. And George was all alone in Calcutta, being looked after Rudolph Roddick and by me. But these letters and the movements all anyhow confirm the Intelligence Bureau of the Government of India that George is somewhere in. What happened exactly, that how they reached this place, I tell you very frankly today. George sent a message through Vivian of that Samaritan to a very close colleague of me to meet him. He wanted to know exactly what happened with this man, to what extent CBI or IB have gone to the facts of the case. Then his friend came to my place, and that proved to be a disaster. He was in fact chased by the Intelligence Bureau. He came to George a day earlier. We stayed with him for a day. On 10th of June morning, this day, at 11 a.m. in the morning, he left George for the Calcutta airport. I had reached Calcutta that day in the evening at 3. And I used to stay either with a friend of mine or in the hostel where I was staying during my college in Calcutta. I went to see him in the evening at about 7. As I was entering the gate of St. Paul's Church, I saw some 7-8 people loitering around. I too got surprised. Then I went to that Samaritan's office. I found George and talking to Vijayan Pavma. I immediately told him that please leave this. I have seen some people loitering around in suspicious, yes, look. George, in fact, overlooked it. He said, where to? No friend of mine is ready to keep me. I told him here in Calcutta. You are being looked out or managed your residence either by me or you. Please leave this place immediately. And I will take to you some safe place, then we will decide where to go and what to do. In fact, George was in very can say, in a double mind, whether it was correct or not, whether some people are working there, or they will come here, or what to do. He was in double mind. Maybe after some time he could have accompanied me, as usually even before he used to do it. And I used to take him to certain places. A party of about 16 intelligence officers belonging to the different parts of it. They all entered that office of this American. At that time, I myself, George Fernandez, and Vivian Paul were sitting. They all came. I was also suspicious.
Oh, wait.
He also naturally got suspicious. He came. The first asked Vivian Paul, who is this fellow? About he said, yes, he is my guest. And I am running the Samaritan Social Institute. He is here. He is a professor in Allahabad. He had entered his name in his book as Professor Rajashekar. You are wearing a dhoti, kurta, and Bihari towel. And he had kept out his secretary. In fact, no one could recognize him. Suddenly, one of those officers, Mr. Deshpande, was from Bombay. He had attended George's meeting since long several years. He told George that I am Deshpande. Here for the first time, George lost his mind. During the whole of my life and whenever I never saw him under fear, in no condition. For the first time, he lost his nerve for a moment only, which also he realized. He spoke 2 sentences in Marathi. And that proved disastrous. And Deshpande, later on, after we were in fact declared arrested, told George, sir, very respectfully, sir, the moment you spoke in Marathi, I became sure that you were right. He told that I have heard you speaking in Marathi in Bombay several times. Then someone from them asked that Vivian Paul, this American man, well, where are his belongings? In good faith, Vivian Pavamuni brought out a small briefcase which George had kept with him. He took out the briefcase, they opened it, and that briefcase carried the railway pass which was issued in the name of George along with his photograph as President of All India Railway List. And there was a copy of Blitz newspaper which was blown out by dynamite explosion in Bombay. And that newspaper item carried that it was done at the instance of George Fernandez. When they got that railway pass, all those 16 people got shot. They said, this is George Fernandez, this is George Fernandez. Then someone told from among them, "Sir, अब हम आपको नहीं छोड़ेंगे." Then George said, "No, no, I am not George Fernandez." "Who says I am George Fernandez?" Then they said, "Sir, आप कुछ भी कहिए, अब हम आपको छोड़ने वाले नहीं। ये आपका तो सब प्रूफ बाकी है." You see, when after release from jail, I went to Calcutta. I asked Vivian Bowman, "Why did you hand over his briefcase to the jail?" He said, "I did not know what this briefcase contains. God never told me that my railway pass is also inside this briefcase. Otherwise, I would not hand it over at any cost." Then you see, we were all, in fact, afraid from him. God also knew it. I also knew it, that what will happen now, nobody. They took both of us to the nearby Park Street police station. They took up our photographs. Then an hour or so later, they took away from the put me in the locker as the usual locker at any Indian. Later on, I got to know they took him directly to the and in an Air Force cargo plane, he was brought. Very fortunately for him and for the nation, Mrs. Indira Gandhi was there. Meanwhile, what proved helpful to George was that the church people immediately informed the business officers, it is called council, business consulate of Calcutta from many foreign countries, including Germany, England, Sweden, that George has been arrested from this. You see, the news came out through the BBC 2 days later. But all these consulate officers were informed immediately, and those consulate officers immediate their bosses immediately. All those ambassadors or high commissioners, particularly the German embassy and British High Commission, acted very fast. The German ambassador informed the Willy Brandt, who was then the Prime Minister of Germany. He was a socialist and a very good friend of Willy Brandt. Immediately rang up Mrs. Indira. She was not here. She was in He rang him there and just told him that nothing should happen to him. This is how George Fernandez's life was saved. What more you want? What happened? Next morning, they produced me in the court. They sent me to the police headquarters, that is Lal Bazar. And in the room, the CID office of the West Bengal government took me to their office. I was put under that jail, but the CID office of West Bengal used to interrogate me every day. And after 14 days, I was shifted to this by train. They are some other Baroda Dynamite case accused person from Delhi, Bihar. They are also different barracks. I was also put in some barracks. Later on, some of our friends, all of our friends from Gujarat, Baroda, they are also brought to Delhi. Our friends from Bombay, they are also brought to Delhi. And then CBI had by that time framed the charge of waging war against the state. 121A of the Indian Penal. There were some 458 witnesses and 456 documents which they had collected as evidence. The proceedings started in peaceful before the Chief Magistrate. On the very first day, you see, before producing in the court, we were all handicapped, including yourself, as he had been a member of parliament also. He was the president of the Socialist Party as well. The party that was recognized by the government of India by the election commission. But he was also. He used to bring almost every day or on the day settled by the court. The proceedings started. In the meantime, what happened? In January 1977, elections were declared for and JP had announced that all opposition parties should contest on one ballot, under one party, just on one election. The talks were going on. George was in jail. When JP said that the Socialist Party should also be dissolved, George was in fact very much annoyed to this. He wrote a historical letter from Central Jail, Bihar to JP. You see, JP was a founder member of the Socialist Party, Congress Socialist Party in 1937. George was not. George came to the Socialist Party in 1949. George wrote a historical letter by hand. He had many copies by hand. One of the copies of the letter in Delhi was his French hospital. George wrote, you remember the historical letter? He wrote in the first paragraph, JP Socialist Party was not formed to be dissolved. Number one. In the second paragraph, he wrote, if the Socialist Party is dissolved, no such party will ever be formed in the country. And in the third paragraph, he wrote, if the Socialist Party is dissolved, we shall be nowhere in the politics. Now see what happened. What happened to Madhuri, what happened to Raj Narayan, what happened to George Fernandez. This all followed up the dissolution. Socialist Party was no doubt merged in Janata Party, but we became a part of the inner politics, what is the party of groupism, party of selfism, self-interest, and we were so much involved in it that we could never restore. But George's forecast in his letter to GP became, and we should never forget. Then what happened later on? Madhulimay was in charge of distributing ticket in Bihar. And Muzaffarpur used to be a very stronghold of the socialist movement, even since 1934. Madhulimay anyhow managed to allot the Muzaffarpur seat to George Fernandez. George Fernandez in fact wanted to contest from Baroda due to Baroda dynamite case connection. But Morarji Desai refused. He said no. George cannot contest from anywhere due to this Baroda. He was so much against. You know, George won being in jail for around 4 times. There is also a very interesting story regarding his election which I want to tell you. George was not a voter from anywhere in this country. His name was not in the voter list, though he had been a member of parliament. Then, during those days, Superintendent of Baroda Central Jail was very recently appointed the Chief Election Commissioner of Delhi. Some of the socialists went to meet him. Please help us. Otherwise, what will happen to George? You know, you have been the superintendent of the jail where he has been kept. He helped his friends. Well, okay. Let someone propose from his house that George lives here and I will allow his name to be included in the voter list. And he helped him. His name was included. Some of his friends went to Muzaffarpur, brought out the nomination form, well certified by the superintendent of the Central Tihar Jail. It was filed. And you know what happened. He won. He became a central minister. And the Baroda dynamite case was formally withdrawn on 22nd of March in 1977.
तो ये तानाशाही के ऊपर
Huh?
तानाशाही के ऊपर भारत रत्न
Yes. We had met very recently on the 3rd of June, which was the 86th birthday of God. We usually gather everywhere. As you know, he is suffering from Alzheimer's disease. He can't speak. He can't make any movement. He is being looked after by his wife, Mrs. Laila Khalid, at her residence. We gathered there, assembled there at his residence. For the first time this year, George's birthday was celebrated all over the country. Lucknow, Patna, Muzaffarpur, Bombay, Bhopal, Bangalore, and several many places. In all these meetings, a resolution was passed, which we also endorsed here in Delhi during his birthday celebration at the residence of Mr. Laila. Just on this one point. And since George was the greatest and bravest fighter during the emergency against the authoritarian rule of Mrs. Indira Gandhi, he risked his life, even personal life and security also. He deserved to be given Bharat Ratna. In fact, what we feel That what he has done after the emergency. He struggled for the people, he struggled for the labor class, to the farmers class, to the downtrodden class. He is above anything like Bharat Ratna. But for that one service during emergency, for his braveness, so that to be remembered in the future, that whoever makes such fights against authoritarian rule, whenever it is imposed in the country, he should be awarded. We demand Bharat Ratna for Rajamandri. Our friends make such demand on 3rd June last, only a week ago. We endorsed this decision, this resolution in our meeting. We will see what we can do more. One thing more, what we decided in that meeting, that to memorize or to make this country's people, in fact,
In memory.
revive the struggles of 1974 strike, 1966 food grain crisis strike, George's struggle against the multinational companies and the World Trade Organization agreement which India signed in 1963. You know, during 1993, George started a struggle against Cargill Corporation of India, Cargill Corporation of America, a multinational company which was coming to Kandla to manufacture salt, thus snatching the livelihood of 2 lakh farmers who used to collect the seawater in their fields, and thus they then prepare salt, then used to sell it to the companies and to the people all over. George staged a satyagraha continuously for 3 weeks, in which the former Prime Minister V.P. Singh, former Minister Madhu Dandavate also participated and gave arrest. Ultimately, George won. That company, Cargill Corporation, announced the withdrawal of opening their factory at Kandla. They withdrew from India, and George started a satyagraha as early in 1991 against Pepsi Cola and Coca-Cola. And he staged his followers, in fact, made a world record of giving arrest almost every day from 1990 to 1990, from 10 years. I was arrested several times in that. Several of our friends from all over the country came here just to participate in this. How important George was for this country. Though we pray for his long life, but what is more important, but what George did for this country, the message of his struggle, the message of his love and devotion for the country should be spread, and that is more important.
How do you compare the situation of emergency
You see, the emergency was imposed by the one man and for the one. In fact, after the decision of the Allahabad High Court on 12 June 1975, Mrs. Indira Gandhi's election to Parliament from Raebareli was declared illegal. So she had to resign. But his colleagues, close colleagues and family members, as it was known during the day, advised her to impose emergency. to arrest all the important leaders of the opposition, then workers, and change the constitution of the country, particularly the emergency provision, so that you could continue for another 2-3 years. And so many changes were made in the constitution. One of the most important was that no election petition can be filed against the Prime Minister. That she tried to legalize what was annulled by the court. So that was the emergency as one person was it. One person's emergency. What is problematic today as the opposition voices are being raised from different parts of the country. In the present context, we have a government in the center in which BJP has a clear-cut position. And BJP is just as a voice of our organization, that is RSS, that believes in one-party rule, and that rule of the followers of one particular, that is BJP. So this is in fact what is endangering in this country is the emergency and the authoritarian rule of an organization, not of a person and of a particular idea, the idea of intolerance. So this emergency which BJP is trying to impose on the country, which RSS is trying to impose on this country, is more dangerous of the emergency of life.
Okay.